So, Nyesom Wike, the bulldozer without brakes, the storm that never ceases, the man who wants to be a governor and a minister at the same time. In one of his recent rants, moving across different local governments in Rivers State, criticized Governor Siminalayi Fubara's defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress, calling it too late and devoid of structure ahead of the 2027 election. Wike argued that most of council chairmen and many lawmakers have already moved, leaving Fubara without stakeholders. He mocked claims of fanfare or special membership status, insisting proper ward registration applies to all because this guy was registered not in his local government. Wike said leadership is proven by mobilizing followers, not slogans, for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because since when that guy has moved, he has always been saying Tinubu, Tinubu, Tinubu for second term, not actually talking about himself, but we all know the game that Fubara is playing. And he claimed his open support drew legislators from him. He blamed Fubara for a failed peace deal in Rivers. Let's counterpunch this and bring out the lies and holes in Wike's argument. Please don't go away. Hello, welcome to my channel. I am your boy Nyesom Wike. If today is your first time or visiting this channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if at the end of this video or somewhere along the video you enjoy watching this video, please don't forget to comment, don't forget to like, and don't forget to share. So the first thing I want to counterpunch in Wike's lies is the fact that he said the defection timing was too late. So in the end, to me, this is a political spin because there is no constitutional or electoral deadline for defection before election. People defect at any time they want to, and a lot of governors, a lot of other politicians have been doing it. Nigerian political history shows that late defection have still reshaped outcomes. For example, and all these kind of things abound in federal and state levels, as you can see in all over the place. Politics is dynamic, not a fixed calendar controlled by former godfathers. And this is why Peter Obi defected to PDP, to Labour Party, and Labour Party almost won the election, if not for the mago malpractice and different things they did. So calling it too late is wishful thinking to me, as far as I'm concerned, and does not have any real political basis. So Wike has lied there. Again, political structure is not only about defectors. Wike, the man that always lies, from his nose and his mouth and his ears, he wrongfully equates structure with defected office holders. Real political structure includes, if you do not know, take note, incumbency. As an incumbent governor, you have power to do and undo. State resources. Fubara has access to state resources, and this is why those lawmakers, those kangaroos, those clowns are saying that the guy has about 6 billion in the state coffers to use, and Wike is even saying that the 6 billion will not help Fubara win election. Then grassroots legitimacy. Anywhere Fubara goes to, you notice that he has this grassroots legitimacy. People like him because people like to associate with the underdog, and in this case, Fubara is the underdog. And as far as Wike continues to do all this rubbish he's doing, Fubara will continue to get public support, and it will come to a time Tinubu will just begin to see Wike as a liability, a baggage, and then he may want to get rid of Wike, and then control of governance machinery. That's why sometimes you see in some states, they want to have their primaries. The incumbent governor will not allow them use the stadium. Do you know the meaning of that? So he has control over the machinery, and he can be able to frustrate Wike. If he wants to even deal with Wike, all those Wike's investment, hotels and houses, he can begin to call the FCC and use the state power to demolish those structures. There is no how Wike will not have violated some laws in terms of environmental laws or building laws and all of that. He can actually attack Wike from there. So a sitting governor automatically controls the most powerful political structure in a state. Wike does not know this, and many politicians defect for self-preservation, not for popular support. Yes, look at Governor Eno of Cross River State. All of them that are running because they are scared that if they do not go, either their party, because of all the quarrels and fights in PDP, INEC would actually disqualify some of them, and some of them are even scared that Tinubu may come after them. So because of that, they are defecting. And another thing is that assemblies members defection, all those clowns, those charlatans that move by Amuwile or whatever, does not equal popular mandate. Local government chairman and assembly members often defect due to number one, fear. Tell me how many of them will not defect. Or now the election they did, 20 of the local governments were won by APC. Wike allowed that to happen. So in the end, they can also defect due to federal pressure, and they can also defect due to personal ambition. And personal ambition in this case is because they want something. They know that if they defect, Wike is going to help them achieve their dreams. They will go. So that does not equate popular mandate to say, okay, oh, this man is going late, then is a late comer. There's no late comer in the game. Their defection does not automatically translate to voter loyalty, because in the end, they are not the ones who come and vote for themselves. People are the ones who vote for them, and people do not like the way Wike is treating Fubara, and so that is going to play into, you know, the hands of Fubara, and Fubara can use that against Wike if Fubara is even coming for a second time and wants to do the primaries, which is where I'm thinking Wike wants to go and wait for him. So Nigerian elections are decided by voters, not politicians. Switching parties overnight will not help anybody in the long run, but in the end, if you have grassroots support, which Fubara has worked on, he can actually do something. And again, if you see this again, he said, who did Fubara move with? Is another false standard. How can you say Fubara move with? When Martins was moving, who did Martins move with? Martins moved with the assembly people alone. So the governor and his vice also moved alone. So if in the end now the federal lawmakers and the federal lawmakers decided to move to before after Fubara, how does that affect Fubara? So governors are elected by millions of voters, not by political elites. So in the end, Wike needs to know that, and that is why you see that Fubara has more support and more votes in Rivers State than all those people put together, and so this is why this is going to translate to victory for Fubara. So leadership is not measured by how many politicians you drag along, but by public trust. Do people trust him? Yes. Do they identify with him as their governor? Yes. Administrative control, and again, electoral legitimacy. Do people think that Fubara won the election fair and square? Yes, but now it's beginning to, Wike is probably beginning to sponsor some people in APC to say that Fubara did not win the election, that it was a stolen mandate. So some of Nigeria's most influential leaders stood alone at critical moments and still prevailed. They should go and find out. This was what happened to Tinubu. Tinubu was the only person in AD. There were 6 states. Later they lost. They became like 2 states. And now he worked with Buhari. Now he's the president. So Wike needs to know that the fact that they are trying to place Fubara as a loner does not, and this guy Shey Makinde does not mean that these people will not come up on top later. Then again, what registration argument to me is distraction. He said that Fubara did not come to register at the ward. When this guy, Line FFK, wanted to switch to APC, he never even traveled to Ondo. It was in Abuja they did it. Fubara even still did it in Port Harcourt, you know. So in the end, they can find a way to work that out. So whether Fubara registered at ward level or not is procedural, not political substance to me. The APC will gladly formalize any paperwork because power attracts compliance. Yes, this guy has power, so compliance will definitely follow. Wike knows this too. Nigerians are concerned with governance and political direction, not membership serial number. So the fact that he said 001, which is what is paining Wike now, that Fubara is definitely trying to put himself above him, is not relevant. So the 001 debate is symbolic, not actually legal. There's no legal substance to it, and anybody that moves to a party as a governor takes over the structure of the party. So political leadership is not determined by card numbers. Party hierarchies adjust quickly when power and incumbency are involved, and that is why even in the state, when the governor moved to APC, Akpabio handed over power to the political structure to him of that state, because he's the number 1 person of that state. You know, that's the new governor. So Wike himself rose politically through political accommodations and not rigid rule keeping. If not, Wike would not have been in power. Another thing is that Wike's "I move" people claim is overstated. If Wike's truly controlled mass loyalty as a saying, PDP would not have fractured repeatedly under his watch. Yes, PDP is nowhere again because of Wike, and so if he has all the loyalty you said people have for you, how come you have problems in PDP? Rivers politics would not be permanently unstable if Wike has all this influence he has. So to me, influence is built on fear and patronage. That influence that is built on fear and patronage is fragile, and that is what Wike is doing. Wike is moving with fear, and it's like I described him as a bulldozer that is always without brakes, and the storm that is always raging. And Fayose has said that if Wike comes for you, Wike is going to consume you.
Wike is a crazy guy. Be his friend, good for you. Be his enemy, he will consume you. The journey of life is about interest.
And so that Fayose to me is a clown, is an agbaya. If not, it should not have been talking like that. This Fayose is about about 7 years older than Wike, and he's talking like a clown that anywhere Wike goes, he will go. Because in the end, you see that they've done it to be such that influence built on fear and patronage is fragile. Because if Wike leaves power now, this same fire share, I know I'm not going to come up for a back. So once access to power changes, loyalties evaporate. So people were even loyal to Fubara today now. Look at it, when Fubara was at home for 6 months, many of them were nowhere to be found. So if Tinubu now can sack Wike, trust me, even those that Amuwele in the charlatan speaker there definitely would also, switch his alliance. So supporting Tinubu does not equal political ownership. Now Wike should know that. He's saying that there's no PDP or APC in Rivers State, that it has collapsed, and all of that. So supporting in 2023 does not grant Wike, number one, ownership of the APC or control over who gets tickets in Rivers State. Tinubu's politics is interest-driven, not loyalty-based. Interest, we have the same interest, let's work together. That's how Tinubu has always done. That's why Tinubu now has fallen out, or the governor Shema Kinde has fallen out with Tinubu, because in the end, if the minister is submitted was not accepted, so like that. So it is no permanent friend, no permanent enemy. It is interest-based, and power centers shift quickly in Nigerian politics. Make Tinubu come up for there now. All people that are supporting Obasanjo the other time, where are they now? Or Atiku, or what's his name now? And the late president Buhari. So another thing I want to look at is peace agreement collapse. Yes. So and then there's blame shifting as a result of peace agreement that has collapsed. Wike frames himself as the aggrieved party, but look at it now. Peace agreement fail when one side insists on dominance. Wike wants to be the only voice heard. He wants Fubara to just be his boy forever. It cannot be like that. Even this Amuwele now, the speaker, it's just because he has not gotten to high power. When he gets there, he himself cannot even be loyal to Wike the way he is now. So for Wike to be expecting a sitting governor to submit indefinitely to a former governor is unrealistic. A minister, a common minister, how much does he control compared to what the governor is controlling for the state? So governance requires institutional respect, not perpetual godfatherism, and that's why Makinde will now say, I have no godfather, and people are angry about it. I support that statement. Then calling assembly members is not leadership. He said that he didn't call the assembly members to wish them Merry Christmas. Is that not crazy? Is that not madness? In 21st century, what is wrong with Wike? What is wrong with Wike? Leadership is not about Christmas greetings. Leadership is about, number one, respecting separation of powers. Number two, allowing institutions to function independently. Wike needs to know that. The assembly crisis in Rivers is political warfare, not it is not etiquette failure. So no matter what that guy does, they will still fight with him because they are out there to remove that guy. So it's not about the guy did not follow etiquette, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. We know what Wike is doing. And then finally, FCT and PDP claims are speculative. Wike predicting PDP's failure in FCT is, to me, his personal opinion, number one, because even the last time it was Labour Party that won it. Now that this guy, Opitobi, has moved to ADC, I'm sure ADC is going to clear FCT again, so it's speculative to me, number one. And then number two, it's not supported by electoral certainty, because Wike himself, if Wike is not taken, Wike is not even coming back as a minister if Tinubu wins election. I can 100% say that. Nigerian voters are increasingly issue-driven and unpredictable. So today, the future also say, this guy, you do well today. Look at Tinubu now that is bringing tax, bringing all sorts of things. You think people would send that kind of person? So the core issues to me is fear of losing relevance. Wike does not want to fail. Wike wants to be in power, permanently. Wike is scared to fail. So strip away the rhetoric and one fact remain. What is the fact that remains? If we can remove all these shenanigans, all this talk he's saying, Wike is reacting to loss of political control in Rivers State because he knows that once he loses it, Fubara has access to Tinubu. That is the end of him. And so now he's scared of power realignment, godfatherism, resistance. Those are the things he's scared of. So he wants to teach people that if you do this, this will happen to you. And that's why I call him the raging storm, the bulldozer without brakes. So Nigerian politics is evolving away from single man dominance. Wike needs to know that even Tinubu cannot continue to have this. That's why even against Tinubu's wish, the people of the Assembly of Lagos State removed their speaker. What are you telling me? Until Tinubu brought him back. So in conclusion, this is not about structure, timing, or slogans. It is about a former governor struggling to accept that political authority has shifted. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. I remain your boy, Ernest Omozogbia Adeboyo Okoje, signing out. Peace.